I believe, I feel like a fucking politician. I believe that I've done a very, very good job in reporting literally everything, every aspect possible about All Elite Wrestling. Now, we know what's on the table already. We know after the fan rally what's going on as far as the roster goes in the beginning stages. We got ideas about where Double or Nothing is going and who's going to be a part of that, where it's going to be, what weekend in May it's going to be. They even announced a third show in Jacksonville, Florida. We know the roles of Tony Khan, and we know the roles of Cody and the Young Bucks, and we know their vision right now as far as possible health care and contracts, equality with entry-level superstars, no matter if you're male or female. A lot of information is being digested right now by the entire wrestling community. Chris Jericho went on Busted Open Radio and proclaimed that the reason he signed with All Elite Wrestling was because he doesn't need the money, but he believes in what All Elite Wrestling is doing. And with him signing there, it's going to bring over a possible new slew of WWE superstars, possibly when their contracts are up. He feels with his presence being there, it's going to be an eye-opening experience. Well, if Chris Jericho is there and he don't need to be there, he must believe in what they're doing. And Jericho knows. Jericho has the inside scoop about what TV deals right now are being discussed. And if any of them go through, it's going to be a holy shit moment. This is the real deal. People need to start believing in AEW. True alternative is what we want. But with everything that has been digested already, everything that's been reported already by everybody, this is when we start hearing the most juiciest of details. This is when the good stuff starts coming out. How much money did the Young Bucks, turn down in the WWE? How much money were they really offered? What type of positions in the company were they going to be given? Did they have any creative control? What about being the elite? Who sat down with them and conducted all of this negotiation? Where's Kenny going? What about Kenny? All of this has now come to the surface. And like I said, this is the most juiciest of details. Triple H conducted and moderated the entire contract negotiations between he and the Young Bucks, the WWE and the Young Bucks. Now, obviously, they're not going anywhere. They're chief executive officers of AEW. But it's been reported in the Wrestling Observer newsletter this week that they turned down massive deals and instead will opt to open up and begin All Elite Wrestling. However, WWE really tried to get the Young Bucks to sign, especially Triple H. Now, I'm not surprised that Triple H sat down with the Young Bucks, or if he was in communication with Kenny, sat down with Hangman and Cody. I'm not surprised by this whatsoever. And I think for everybody that wanted the Elite to come on into WWE, it would probably have or stand a better chance with Triple H doing that, because you don't want Vince McMahon. He might have been filled in on every little detail. He might have even sat there. He might have even sat in with Triple H conducting these negotiations. But Triple H spearheading this entire thing, that's the guy you want, because more so than anyone else in that company, it's him and his team that really have a grasp on what's going on the outside of WWE. Where Vince and his team are fucking brain dead. So, if that was even going to be a possibility, they had the right man leading the charge. Now, it's said in the Wrestling Observer newsletter that the Young Bucks and Triple H talked for roughly 12 hours. That's a long fucking time. That's a long fucking time, man. I hope that they had some nice hors d'oeuvres from Titus Catering. I hope Triple H had a runner go get some Starbucks coffee every hour on the hour. But 12 hours is a long time. Now, obviously, this didn't materialize into any deals, but the Young Bucks, according to Meltzer, heavily praised WWE COO about how he handled everything during the negotiations. Now, Triple H also reportedly took the comedy parody sketches of himself on Being the Elite very well. Frankie Kazarian dressed up like him in some recurring Being the Elite skits. He was very open and humored by what they did on Being the Elite. Now, the door isn't closed on the Young Bucks to come on into the WWE. This is going to be a permanent home for them with All Elite Wrestling. They're still young. If they ever want to explore going to the WWE, it could be something that could happen down the line. And it's said that there's no animosity between Matt, Nick, and Triple H. Triple H is well aware of what's going on. Triple H is understanding of what's going on and where they wanted to go with their career, the next chapter of their career. Now, that's all great, but what was the deal that they were actually offered that they rejected? Well, according to Meltzer, in the same newsletter, this was all bundled into one big massive story this week. The Wrestling Observer newsletter offered the news that Triple H, with negotiations with the Young Bucks, was offering AJ Styles-like WWE Championship money. Now, I don't know what that means. AJ is still under a current deal with the WWE. AJ right now is sitting down with WWE to negotiate a new deal. I don't know what AJ Styles WWE Championship-like money means, but apparently it was a very, very, very large amount. We may never know. It's none of our business to know. But I'm sure whatever they were offered was very handsome. Very handsome. So this is certainly a big price tag when you think about it, but there was even more to the deal, which has some in WWE surprised that they rejected it. Now this is monumental, what I'm about to read to you. This is monumental. We know the WWE Network is a brainchild of Vince McMahon. You know, depending on what goes on the network, sometimes he might not have so much of a say in it. He might not be micromanaging some of the things that go on there. Like Edge and Christian's show, I'm surprised it even has a season 2 because it's just very open and honest with their humor. And Vince doesn't like to break into that type of market, you know, revealing some inside scoops or, you know, opening the curtain behind the scenes. That's why he canned Talking Smack. And Edge and Christian's show is just wild and funny, and it just kind of peels back the curtain just a little bit. That's why we enjoy it, because it comes off as genuine. It comes off as natural. This right here is monumental. You know, Edge and Christian, you got the reality shows that go on there. You got your Table for Threes, your 24s, the documentaries about, you know, Kurt Angle and Kevin Owens and Ronda Rousey, the Women's Evolution, all that stuff, right? That's all great shit. But WWE was also willing, in their offer, to make Being the Elite a weekly WWE Network show. They were going to give them a prime spot on the network to be exactly what Edge and Christian do and have season after season after season after season of Being the Elite on the WWE Network. Now, you can imagine that Being the Elite is great on its own, with WWE production and WWE spearheading the project, being open to let these guys be who they are creatively, have their own outlet for a creative freedom. That is absolutely monumental. And WWE is, they're not stupid. That was probably the biggest thing of all, and it works both ways. Being the Elite, right now, they have roughly about 300,000 YouTube followers. And they are heavily watched on YouTube. Now, with YouTube, if you're a content creator, I'm going to use me, for example. I got roughly 104,000 subs. On a great week, Monday Night Raw will do 40,000 views. Sometimes 50, depending on how newsworthy the show is. That's great. I'm trending about half of my viewership right there on Monday night. SmackDown Live will probably do around 30 to 35,000 views. Off the script, this past weekend is a great example. We did close to 100,000 views between all 3 videos, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If you are trending 15 to 20% of your overall subscriber base on YouTube, you're doing good. You're doing good. You don't want to have a YouTube channel of 100,000 subs and then get 1 to 2,000 views a video. That means you have a dead channel. A dead channel. Or if you have like 60 to 70,000 views and you get 500 to 1,000 views, you're irrelevant. You're irrelevant. You're garbage. But being the elite on YouTube compared to the WWE Network, that would be, like I said, monumental. The production value that would go into it to make it prettier compared to what we see now. And like I said, WWE's not stupid. WWE's not stupid. You don't think they want to hone in on the market that being the elite has right now on YouTube? All the fans that might not be subscribed to the network? Right now, WWE Network's sitting at about maybe 1.7, 1.8 million subscribers. If they get just a little bit of what the elite has over on YouTube to come on over to subscribe to the WWE Network, that would push them over the 2 million subscriber threshold. And that's what they've been wanting to do for all these years. And it's amazing that the WWE Network is a brainchild of Vince McMahon and that these outsiders, really, Young Bucks have had nothing to do with the WWE. Kenny was there for a cup of tea. Cody was there for, I guess, a nice pint of Guinness and a nice club sandwich. But Hangman Page, Cody, the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega coming on in and getting their own show on the WWE Network. Who the fuck gets that type of offer? I mean, you got current guys on the roster right now that can't even get their own show on the WWE Network. You got legends in the WWE that don't even have their own fucking show on the WWE Network. Monumental. And it would have been a partnership that would have been great for both sides. So I'm surprised that that was even A, offered, and B, that would have been a cherry on top of the cake type deal for the Young Bucks. Then Meltzer goes on to say, another very interesting option of their deal was noted by Meltzer, and he said, something I've never heard WWE concede on before. I don't know what that means. It may tie into the whole being the elite, being a weekly WWE Network show, or it could be something completely different. I don't know. Something that WWE never conceded on before. Maybe we'll find out in the weeks to come. Now, it was said that WWE offered Nick and Matt Jackson a 6-month window in the beginning of their contracts where they could pull out of their 3-year deal if they weren't happy with how they were being used. That is interesting. That may be what Meltzer's talking about. I don't know anyone in all the years I've been watching WWE for them or someone to be offered that type of fucking leeway. WWE offered Nick and Matt Jackson a 6-month window in the beginning of their contracts where if they weren't happy, they could pull out and leave. This sounds to me that, I don't want to say WWE was going to be, I guess, in a mindset where they just wanted them to be there just so that All Elite Wrestling doesn't open. Or if they really knew that, we don't have any plans for them, but we just want them to come on in and then we'll just figure it out along the way. That doesn't really, if I'm Matt and Nick Jackson, really, if I'm Matt and Nick Jackson and I'm hearing that, yeah, it sounds great, but when I hear something like that, that means to me that you don't have any confidence to book us correctly, so you're really, really doing something that is completely unheard of, that's never been done before, and you just want us to come on in just so that we don't go do this other thing. There's no creativity there. There's no creative plan for us to come on in. If you're giving us a 6-month window, and if we're unhappy by the end of that 6 months, we could say fuck you to the 3-year deal and go open up All Elite Wrestling. Now, they didn't do that because 6 months is a long time. In that 6 months, All Elite Wrestling could have had a TV deal and a new weekly network show on TBS or TNT or wherever they end up. So that could have been time and money lost. But that is unbelievable. 6-month window, and if they weren't happy with how they were being used, and the tag teams in WWE clearly are not being used the right way, it's like WWE is pretty much submitting to the fact that, our tag team division sucks, so if you're not really happy fighting the New Day every fucking week, you can bounce on out and go open AEW. This would lead us to believe that WWE had big plans for them. This is Meltzer's idea, that they had big plans for them that they had a lot of faith in. I don't think so. I think it's the opposite. I honestly think it's the opposite. There's no way WWE is sitting down with these guys having plans about what they're going to do with the Young Bucks and the Elite. There's no way. There's no way. Not plans that are going to be monumental to change the WWE. It honestly, at this point, was probably a step-by-step, day-by-day, week-by-week basis. They had no concrete plans or long-term plans for these guys. They wanted to bring them in, offer them the fucking world in hopes that they take it. And if they do, okay, then the next part happens. Then we start devising plans. WWE doesn't operate that way. They have operated in a way that is desperate in the last 3 to 4 months. Literally signing everyone with no plans for any one of them. They just want them to have them so they don't open AEW or they don't go somewhere else and make an impact on another promotion. They want them just to hold them, and when they want to use them, they'll use them at their own time. I doubt they had any plans for the Young Bucks. Now, of course, the Young Bucks declined all of this. They declined all of this and are carrying on to do their own thing. Like I said, Meltzer reported that there is no animosity. But it couldn't have been easy for Matt and Nick Jackson to turn down everything that Triple H had offered. But the 6 months that it might have taken for the Young Bucks to figure out that they didn't want to be in WWE could have meant that the window for AEW could have been closed. Like I mentioned, like I just said, that 6-month window could have been do or die for AEW. They could have a TV deal and a weekly show set up by then and off and running in the wrestling world for AEW. So it couldn't have been an easy decision for the Young Bucks to turn down what Triple H was offering them to come on into the WWE. What about Hangman Page? Hangman was reportedly offered main roster money. Main roster money. I don't know what that means, but it's easily well past 6 figures. Because nobody in NXT is making 6 figures. I'll tell you that right now. Offered main roster money to be the face of NXT. Hangman Page is a key member of being the Elite and the Elite in general. His comedy, styling, and ability to talk along with his looks give him a certain appeal. Apparently, WWE wanted him in a big way. Triple H, we just talked about, sat down with Matt and Nick Jackson and personally wanted to bring them all in. We just talked about the Young Bucks turning down a massive deal on a scale that nobody's ever heard of before in the WWE. Now the Observer is also mentioning Hangman Page was offered main roster money to work NXT. This would have separated Page from the rest of the Elite if they took WWE contracts, but it still probably had to be hard to pass up for Hangman Page. Obviously, Hangman Page is one of the first 5 wrestlers to sign with All Elite Wrestling, meaning that he also passed on the WWE deal and had a stare down with Neville, arguing over who's going to be the first All Elite Wrestling World Champion. Now, I don't know what that means. I don't know if Hangman wanted to be away from Cody and Matt and Nick. I don't know if Hangman wanted to go to NXT. I mean, he's young enough where he could certainly be the face of NXT if they wanted. Or if he wanted, he could certainly be the face of NXT. But I feel like, and this is not a knock at all on Hangman Page. I honestly feel right now, it's not going to be this way forever because the guy has got all the potential in the world. I honestly feel for someone like Hangman Page to be on his own right now would be a mistake. I honestly feel, and I think he knows deep down, that he wants to continue working and learning from Cody and Matt and Nick and Kenny, and they want to be together because they're better as a unit, And to break them up, it would go against all the ideals that they had originally had. They want to do this together. If you're not going to take us as a package deal, then we're not interested. And I don't think Hangman wanted to be away from everybody else. And I honestly don't think Hangman, as a character goes, is ready to be on his own yet either. Not yet, anyway. Another year or two, and, a few more minutes in the oven for him to fully bake. But Hangman being away from everybody else and be the face of NXT, that's a very interesting offer. It's a very enticing offer, but he didn't want that. And he declined the offer from Triple H as well. So they were offering him main roster money to come on in. Unbelievable. Now, the one guy that we haven't talked, I don't know what they offered Cody. I couldn't find anything in the Observer about what Cody was offered. Maybe that'll be revealed sometime later in the weekend. But what about Kenny? What's going on with Kenny Omega? Now, it's being reported that Kenny is leaving New Japan. He doesn't want to work under Tanahashi, and we already know that, okay? I mentioned on part 1 of Off the Script that with Jericho signing with AEW and Tony Khan already sitting in on that contract, I am just speculating here, and I can't envision it being anything else. Jericho is not going to be exclusive to AEW. He's not. Jericho's going to be able to work the cruise, the Jericho cruise. He's going to be able to work with other promotions. He's going to be able to work with Impact if he wants. He's going to be able to work New Japan if he wants. Because he's already stated that he wants Tanahashi and a shot at the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. It's something that he has not done yet in his career, and if he wants it, he's going to explore that option. And people are already talking about that. Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Chris Jericho at Madison Square Garden could realistically be the main event in April for the G1 Supercard at Madison Square Garden. So if Jericho is going to have leeway to do that and work New Japan, there's no way you're not going to allow Kenny Omega to work AEW and New Japan. If Kenny wants to join the field in the G1, he certainly can do that. If Kenny wants to go get a rematch against Tanahashi, he could certainly do that. If Kenny wants to work with Kota Ibushi and be at Madison Square Garden, he can certainly do that. There's no way you're going to give Jericho all that leeway in his contract and not do the same thing for Kenny Omega, who more than likely is going to be the face of this entire company. It makes no sense. And if that's the case, we're hearing now that New Japan is working with Ring of Honor and they don't want anything to do with AEW. I find that to be hard to believe as well. New Japan probably just said that because they want to get through the G1 Supercard and see how well it does. And they got a certain loyalty and a contractual obligation to Ring of Honor to get this shit done in April. I don't think New Japan wants to be away from AEW. I think New Japan most certainly wants to work with AEW. And if AEW is going to allow... And by the way, New Japan does not want to lose Kenny Omega. And if the only way they could use Kenny Omega's services, if he signed to an AEW contract, they have to work with them. There's no way that New Japan is not going to be working with AEW. There's no way. There's no way. And they want to break into the U.S. market too. And automatically right now, AEW is going to be the number 2 promotion in the United States. If they want to break in and make an impact on their own, for their own brand, you got to do it through AEW because they are going to be right under where WWE is in the hierarchy of pro wrestling here in the States. It makes no sense for them not to work with AEW. And again, if you're going to give Jericho that deal, Kenny's going to get the same fucking thing. Kenny is going to be working New Japan, but primarily, he's going to be working AEW. It's being reported that Kenny has already turned down a WWE offer, set to join All Elite Wrestling as soon as his contract is up on January 31st. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, the Best Bout Machine will indeed be joining his elite comrades in AEW. Everybody wondered what was going on with Kenny. Put it to rest, people. It's over. Kenny's not coming to the WWE. He's not. Dave Meltzer mentioned that the word was that Omega had already turned down a WWE offer. What that was, I don't know. It is also being speculated that AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling will indeed come to some sort of working relationship, particularly with regards to Omega. Chris Jericho having signed with AEW and his potential match with Hiroshi Tanahashi coming up soon, possibly, would be in New Japan's best interest to work alongside AEW. This also calls into question how Kota Ibushi falls into the equation. Kota Ibushi is, of course, linked with Omega and New Japan, does not want to lose the Bucks, Rhodes, Omega, Hangman, and Ibushi like that. They don't want to lose any one of them all at the same time. The two sides may come to an agreement sometime in the next couple of months, but this remains to be seen. I'm going out on a limb and saying that New Japan is absolutely 100% going to be in a working relationship with AEW because nothing else makes sense. If they don't want to lose these guys and they want to utilize their services, they need to do what is right. And the best business move for them right now is to do a working relationship deal with AEW. Kenny Omega, I've been hearing it's 50-50. I'm hearing that WWE offered this guy astronomical amounts of money. But I mentioned again on part 1 of Off the Script yesterday, Kenny is well beyond the money. He doesn't need the money. He's going to get the same amount, if it's the same amount or a little bit less. The little bit less is not going to turn away Kenny Omega from AEW. The guy wants creative freedom. The guy wants to be Kenny Omega. He wants to continue being the best bout machine. He doesn't want his moveset to be jeopardized. He doesn't want his look or his character or his creativity to be jeopardized. Kenny cares more about the art of professional wrestling than what WWE is going to do for Kenny Omega. But it's very interesting that if the Young Bucks and Cody and Hangman all got deals that were unbelievable from WWE, I'm wondering what Kenny was offered that he turned down. I'm really wondering why he turned it down, what amount of money they offered him that he said no to, what type of perks he said no to. I hope that news is leaked sometime in the next coming days, because that's the most interesting aspect of all this that I would love to know. How hard it was for him to be 35 years old and say no to WWE, pretty much with them giving him the fucking world. He'd rather change it. Gotta respect that. Now, WWE, with everybody bundled up, right? With everybody bundled up, Kenny, Cody, Bucks, Hangman, WWE reportedly had a huge WrestleMania plan for the entire faction of the Elite. Wrestling Observer newsletter in the same story noted that people in WWE are considering this and seeing this as mind-boggling, that the Elite would turn down the deals that they were offered. It was said that it's actually hard to believe they would get an offer on that level, let alone the fact that they were turning it down. That is unbelievable, man. You can't sit here and fault them for that, man. The pressure and the uncertainty and the nervousness that they were probably feeling, that they would never get this type of deal from anywhere else, from anyone else. The fact that I'm sure every single one of them deep down at one point in their lives wanted to be a part of WWE, right? They all watched WWE. They're all fans of WWE, obviously. They're in the world of professional wrestling. This is what they did as a childhood, or during their childhood as a child. We all dreamt of being in the WWE one day, right? The fact that they were turning it down, man, you have to respect the fact that they're walking away from that. You have to respect the fact that they have the fucking confidence in themselves that they know they're going to succeed doing their own thing and they don't need WWE, man. That, I can't even imagine how fucking scary that is. That you're guaranteed what WWE's giving you here and you're walking away from it to do your own thing. And there's a bunch of uncertainty coming with what you're doing. You got to respect that, man. WWE reportedly had big storyline plans for the Elite as well. It is said that WWE was so confident that the Young Bucks were WWE bound that Dave Meltzer was told that they would debut in the Royal Rumble. And it is also said the Elite had a Rumble to Mania significant storyline in place. Of course, nobody knows what that is. I honestly think that's a crock of shit. And I can't imagine WWE having plans for these guys already coming on in. They wanted them to come on in and then the plans would be devised. But I guess they said that to sweeten the pot. We're going to give you WrestleMania. We're going to give you the Rumble. Rumble to Mania significant storyline. Who the fuck knows what that means? on WWE TV right now, currently, where do the Bucks, where do Cody, where does Hangman and Kenny fit in, that they're going to come in together as a unit, and what the fuck are they going to do? What are they going to do? The only thing that would have made sense is if the Shield was together. One. The only thing that makes sense right now is if the Undisputed Era was to get called up and we see Undisputed Era versus the Elite at WrestleMania. And none of those things were going to happen right now. Significant plans for what? Maybe individually. Would Kenny win the Royal Rumble? Would Kenny go on to challenge Seth Rollins for the Universal Championship after WrestleMania, after he defeats Brock Lesnar? What does it mean? Are the Bucks going to be handed tag team titles? Is Cody going to be handed Intercontinental Gold? Now, let me do that instead of opening up my own fucking promotion where I'm my own boss and I get to control what's going on. Rumble to Mania plans. Nobody knows. Nobody's ever going to know what that means. I doubt it was anything. Look at the landscape of WWE right now and tell me where do the Elite fit in to where it's going to be significant storyline, unless Kenny's going to be the world champion, the face of Raw. They would have to shuffle so many pieces around to make everything make sense. That's not going to happen right now. With the current rosters the way they are, that would never happen. It's just words to try and hopefully get them to sign. There's no doubt in my mind. I would bet the fucking house on the fact that they had no real plans and it was nothing but fucking smoke. But according to these guys, the Observer, there were plans. It was nothing but smoke and there's no fire. All Elite Wrestling will run full steam ahead at this juncture, and we can only hope that they have nothing but success moving on through the rest of 2019. One more piece of information about All Elite Wrestling, man. Head of Creative has been revealed. This is according to SE Scoops. Now, AEW President Tony Khan will be head of creative, and Dave Meltzer is calling this a Vince McMahon role. So, Tony Khan, the mark that he is, the wrestling buff, the wrestling connoisseur that he is going to be in charge of all creative. All creative decisions are going to go through him. He's the Vince McMahon of AEW. During an appearance on Shaw Waltman's podcast this week, Khan spoke extensively about his vision for AEW. I highly recommend you guys go and listen to what X-Pac had to say with Tony Khan. Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks will serve as executive vice presidents. Cody will focus primarily on the men's singles division. Matt and Nick will handle the tag team division. With the Young Bucks holding such prominent positions in the promotion, expect to see a strong tag team division in AEW. Dash and Dawson, where the fuck are you, bro? Where are you? Those contracts coming up soon? Give Matt and Nick a call, man. Strong tag team division, exactly what we want to see. One more executive vice president is expected to be hired in the coming months. In addition to serving as a chief brand officer, Brandy Rhodes, will focus on the women's division. Dana, wife of Matt Jackson, will be head of merchandise. She's been one of the driving forces behind the Young Bucks merchandise brand. Pro Wrestling Tees president Ryan is also working with Dana alongside her to get the merchandise out for AEW. Prominent wrestling business partner Chris Harrington has also been hired as head of business development. Serious as a heart attack, folks. This is all the juicy shit. This is all the juiciest shit, man, with more probably to come. And I would love to know what Kenny was fucking offered, perks and financial wise, about what he was offered with a WWE deal, man. But this is just fucking exciting. This is all interesting to me. I love this shit. And good on them, man. Cody, Matt, Nick, everybody involved are walking away from WWE pretty much giving them the world. WWE pretty much gave them the fucking world to come on into the company. The Elite, they'd rather change it. They'd rather make a difference. They'd rather change it for the better. And hopefully they can do that. And we can get Vince McMahon. I said this on Instagram. You know, Vince has been a shell of his former self. If this is what it's going to take to break Vince McMahon out of this fucking demented trance that he's in, then this is the best decision that they could have ever made. Hopefully this riles up Vince McMahon to a point where we get that fire back in him to where competition is going to drive him to be better. Cody, Matt, Nick, Hangman, Kenny, the Elite, everybody collectively wants to change the world, but I don't think anybody really realizes it at this point that with every move that they make, they're changing WWE for the better without even being in the fucking company. Absolutely love it, man. This is Off the Script, episode 256, part number 2. If you think that's all I got, man, you are fucking sadly mistaken. I got a ton more on today's episode. Don't go anywhere. We're going to hit the introduction, and I'll be right back, right here on episode 256, part 2 of Off the Script. Off this shitty fucking product by coming on here and speaking the fucking goddamn truth about this fucking filth.
I can book a better show taking a fucking dump after eating my fucking Chipotle chorizo with extra cheese.
I don't give a fuck what anybody has to say. Have I ever? Of course not.
WWE is great, man. Fuck you, Japan, and Kenny Omega, Okada. Johnny! What is it, man? Can I suck your dick? What is it, man?
Well, this is the #1 fucking podcast.
Right here on YouTube.com!
This is Off the Script. I know there's probably... because I just got done watching it. I know there's gonna be some fucking idiot in the comments. Oh, JD, where's the UK takeover review, man? Tomorrow. You know, NXT UK, it's just getting its feet wet. So if I do a takeover review for UK in Blackpool, like I would usually do for TakeOver Phoenix coming up Royal Rumble weekend, it's not even going to get a tenth of the views. How many of you legitimately watch NXT UK? Not many. So I'm gonna be working, honestly, double this weekend because I got to get Off the Script ready, and then I have to sit down here and do NXT UK. And I'm going to upload that as a separate upload, but you guys are going to get that tomorrow morning. You're not going to get it tonight. All right? So you're getting Off the Script tonight. If you don't like it, well... I don't know what to fucking tell you, man. Go watch some other fucking clown talk about fucking God knows what. CM Anyway, man, this is Off the Script. This is episode 256. This is part number 2. Hope you guys enjoyed all that plethora of news about the Elite and the contract that they were offered from WWE. We're going to continue the news in just a little bit. What I got lined up for you guys. Speaking of the UK, WWE just opened up a performance center ahead of TakeOver Blackpool this week. So the World Takeover for NXT, or WWE's takeover of all the big wrestling markets across the globe, has officially begun. WWE keeps playing the same NXT call-up videos every single week. Why is that? Brian Alvarez gave you a reason why, and we'll go over that today on Off the Script. The latest on Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Are they coming back sooner rather than later? Or is it just WWE just putting out the idea that, hey, remember these guys? Yeah, they're coming back. Alexa Bliss in-ring return. Very unclear right now. Jason Jordan has not been cleared by WWE yet, but there's a reason why. Eric Rowan spotted at the Performance Center, and worlds collide at the Royal Rumble. What the fuck does that mean? Well, you're going to have to find out in just a little bit, man. Thank you guys so much for joining me here on the podcast. If you guys missed part 1, go and check it out. It is in the annotation that you see in the top right corner. If I remember during post-edit, I'll show you guys the thumbnail right there. We talked about everything regarding AEW, the fan rally, Chris Jericho, his sit-down with Vince McMahon, why he signed with AEW and not with WWE. All that plus so much more, all in that video. Almost 2 hours of podcast. Go and check it out if you have not done so already. Also this week, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, even did an hour of Call of Duty Black Ops 4 Rage for you guys if you're into that type of thing. All on the channel right now with much more to come this weekend. Please follow me on social media, man, at JD from NY206. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. And at JD from NY206 on Twitter. Same thing as Instagram. JD from New York on Twitch. I'm on there maybe once or twice a week. And if you guys want to follow me and support me on Patreon, man, patreon.com/JD from NY206. Completely optional. And it's the only way to get exclusive content not available on YouTube. So make sure you guys go and do that. The roll call this week for Patreon, man. I got to shout out Tony Mirabella, you fucking beast. He pledged $10. Will pledged $5. Loco Ono pledged $1. We got Justice Chance pledging $5. Mike Waz from Brooklyn. Hey, yo, Brooklyn over here. Mike Guaz pledging $10. We got Adele pledging $1. Brett L raised his pledge from $5 to $20. We got Joel W. 514 Trader pledging $5. And we have Ahmad M pledging $5. Man, thank you guys so very much, man. You guys are fucking kicking ass on the Patreon side of things. I appreciate all your support. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. Barbershop Window, man. It's the only place to get the official Off the Script merchandise. Barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. Use code BSHOP10 for 10% off. It's the only place where you guys can get the 100,000 subscriber commemorative t-shirt right there that you see on the screen. Barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. I must say that out of all the podcasts that you listen to, I have the best designed merchandise in the game. No question. No question. This isn't shit that's on Teespring, that's made with Microsoft Paint by some fucking idiot who don't know what the fuck he's doing. This is legit artwork, man. Legit artwork by actual graphics designers and artistes. Barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. I do want to get another shirt out before WrestleMania weekend, man. I would love a new Negan design. I really would love a new Negan design, man. I really want to take the Negan character, even though he's not really much of a threat on The Walking Dead anymore. But Negan is very synonymous with this podcast because that was the best-selling t-shirt that I think we've ever put out on Barbershop Window. And I want to come up with a new Negan design. So if you guys got something in mind, some cool design, some cool ideas about the Negan design, I might use it, man. And I might shift it off to my artist, and we might have a new t-shirt before WrestleMania weekend. That's what I would like to do. So if you guys got any ideas, please leave them down in the comments below, man. Harry's. Got to shout out Harry's because they're paying me to do so, man. Harry's.com/script. Free trial. And what you guys are going to get in this free trial is worth over $15. It's FREE. Free. Harry's.com/script. Use our unique link. What you're going to get is the following. You're going to get a choice. One color out of 3. You guys can either choose the blue, the navy blue, the orange, or the evergreen. Now, I got all 3 because why the fuck not? Why not, man? I shave once a week, and I like to have a backup just in case. Some weeks I may be feeling blue. Some weeks I may be feeling green. Some weeks I may be feeling orange. Doesn't matter, man. You guys got a choice of whatever color you want. A razor handle. You guys are going to get a razor blade. Now, the razor blades are so fine and so smooth, man. Harry's has over 600 employees, man. Chemists, scientists, people who work with steel their entire lives. People who know steel better than they know their own families. They got people working on this stuff to ensure the best shave possible by using the finest of ingredients, man. So you're going to get a handle, a blade. You're going to get a generous 2-ounce bottle of their shave gel, which soothes and hydrates. It smells fantastic, and I guarantee you when you put it on your skin and you rub it in, it's going to give you a nice little tingling sensation, man. So you guys are going to get all that for free, including a free travel case for your blade as well, a protective case. All this for free, harrys.com/script. And I love it, man. I've been using it. I say it every week. I've been using it for over a year. I found out through my dad and my brother. I haven't looked back. I haven't used anything else, any other products on the market, and I guarantee you guys are going to do the same thing as well. And I know you've felt the same way because you guys tweet me about it. So I would never use anything that I don't believe in, and I would never turn it here on the podcast and offer it to you guys if I didn't believe you could use it as well. Harrys.com/script. Free trial. Go and get yours today. Audible. I got to shout out Audible, man. Audible's been a great partner, fine sponsor of the show here for the last 2 years. Audible's giving you guys, FREE as well, free 30 days of their service, and that includes one free audiobook of your choice. So you're going to use our unique link, audibletrial.com/offthescript. If you guys have already signed up already, you can't do it again. Turn it on to someone else. Give the gift of Audible if that's the case. Sure, you got friends and family. audibletrial.com/offthescript. You're going to download the app on your iPhone or Android devices, tablet, laptop, whatever, man. It's compatible with all devices, Android and iPhone alike. And you guys are going to get 30 days free of their service and one free audiobook of your choice. But the best thing about it is, if you guys feel like Audible's not for you, that you don't want to go through the entire 30 days, or you don't want to sign on after the 30 days, you can cancel within that 30 days. You can sign up, get your book, and cancel immediately if you want to. You can cancel any day within that 30-day grace period and still get to keep your audiobook for free. And you have over 200,000 choices to choose from. Whether you guys are taking the train or the bus to work, or whether you sit in the office and you can't fucking stand your boss and you want to be lazy, or if you're going to lunch and you need something to do, Audible is great, man. People are listening to more Audible, more podcasts now than ever before. So get yours today for free and experience for 30 days. audibletrial.com/offthescript. Thank you guys so very much for all that. Let's continue the news, man. On Off the Script here, episode 256, part number 2. NXT UK TakeOver Blackpool happening on Saturday. It's already over. You guys will hear the review tomorrow on Sunday morning, and then we'll hit Off the Script part 3 for Sunday. But during the week, right before Blackpool, an appearance on Good Morning Britain, British Strong Style exclusively revealed, that's Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, and Trent Seven, that a WWE Performance Center is being launched in the United Kingdom. Now, the Performance Center over in Orlando, Florida has been long viewed as one of the best steps forward for professional wrestling made by the WWE in a very long time. And everybody's heard rumblings about one in China. And now we've got confirmation that the very same thing is happening in the United Kingdom. Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, and Trent Seven made the announcement while promoting NXT TakeOver UK Blackpool that will go down on Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, to my UK folk. The trio also revealed that they are now on a vegan diet, which I'm sure both my brothers would appreciate because they are both vegan, which may come as a surprise to some fans who don't believe you can perform at the highest level under such health conditions. In an update, later that morning, an NXT UK press conference was held to officially unveil the UK Performance Center. Triple H, Charlotte Flair, and Finn Balor. You know, Smiley Finn. All that was missing was the fucking human tube of fucking Colgate and the dancing Listerine were present, and the next phase of WWE's push into the UK market began. Shawn Michaels was also present, hairless, of course, with the PC having a warehouse type of feel. Triple H kicked things off by announcing the finer details and the overall aim of the Performance Center, as you guys, I'm sure, can find on WWE's YouTube channel. It was live streamed earlier in that day. Triple H also confirmed that it will be the first of many performance centers outside of the United States, which comes to nobody's surprise. I'm not surprised by this. The global takeover in the UK is officially underway, man. WWE is going to be bringing on everybody in that scene to be in the Performance Center, coaches, trainers, wrestlers alike. The global takeover has begun. Rumors of one in Japan, rumors of one in China, rumors of one in Australia. It's going to go round and round and round, man. WWE wants to monopolize the entire wrestling industry. Comes as no surprise, man. I don't know what else to tell you guys. If you're shocked by this, then you must not really be paying attention. But the Performance Center, man, I am going to be visiting Full Sail University, not the Performance Center in itself, but I'll be down at Full Sail University for NXT's tapings after the Royal Rumble. Man, I would love to get a nice look at the PC down in Orlando, hopefully one day soon. But I've heard nothing from everybody, man. So genuine in their reactions, how great of an environment it is, how family-orientated the whole environment is, the vibe is. And I'm assuming that with Triple H's team being assembled in Orlando, and I'm sure Triple H is going to have a heavy hand in assembling his team in the UK, it's going to be the same deal for the UK, man. So everybody that's involved with the UK brand, NXT, is going to be feeling the same amount of love that the NXT United States version is going to be receiving. It's going to be great. And, it's WWE's way to entice people to come on into the company, man. Look at our beautiful facility that you can perform in and train in and pretty much spend most of your days in. Look at all the perks that come along with signing with WWE's UK brand. It's not only a great facility to get everybody where they need to be, training wise and just up to par with where they want everybody to be, but it's also going to be a second home for everybody. And there's nobody else in the scene. There's nobody else in the market doing what WWE's doing. So if they want you, come on in. Look at what we got for you. It's a nice, enticing offer, a nice cherry on top of the cake, per se, for everybody that they want to bring on in. If you're contemplating, I'm going to stay here, or should I go to the NXT brand with WWE? It's just a great way to upsell. My retail days, upsell everybody on why you should come on into the WWE. And it's a good thing. It's a good thing for WWE, but it may be a bad thing for everybody else. In fact, it is a bad thing for everybody else because WWE's global takeover has officially begun. Speaking of NXT, why WWE keeps playing the same NXT call-up videos every single week. Lacey Evans, Lars Sullivan, Heavy Machinery, Nikki Cross, you name it, EC3. Everybody's got the same fucking video package every single week. Nothing has changed. Coming soon? When? Coming soon. I told your mother coming soon the other night, and I let her down because she wasn't good enough. Brian Alvarez noted on Wrestling Observer newsletter that the reason why WWE keeps reusing all the same promos is because they weren't supposed to air them in the first place. He says, and I quote, "So everyone they announced that is going to be called up was scheduled to be called up in January, and ratings started to tank around November. And in December, WWE decided, well, we got to shake things up, pal. So they made their big announcement, and they said, hey, we're going to be calling up some new names from NXT, so here are the names. They announced everybody, but they just announced everybody early. Very much because the idea for Lars Sullivan was that he had the big video package and was supposed to be announced at the December TLC pay-per-view, but Vince decided, we'll do it a month early. We'll do it at Survivor Series. So the Who, time they were going to do that, the deal like they did it where, I don't know who the fuck wrote this article because it's all over the fucking place, where Raw wants him and they did the deal where Raw wants him and SmackDown wants him, and then he makes this big decision. Or Lars makes his big decision. That was all supposed to be in January, so when they announced it in November, there were no imminent plans to bring him up immediately because of all that stuff that was done, because allegedly the fans wanted to change and the company was giving them change, but the change was, we're not going to do it early, we're just going to tell you before it all actually happens, end quote. WWE jumped the gun on calling up Lars Sullivan, Lacey Evans, EC3, Nikki Cross, and Heavy Machinery. They didn't really plan on debuting them until they wanted, though. This is why Lars Sullivan's debut was scrapped once again this week. Therefore, since WWE made the announcement, they just had to keep playing the same video packages over and over and over again. Now, Lars Sullivan's debut was scrapped. Apparently, he was supposed to be on Monday Night Raw this week to, ring in the first live show of the new year. But I have news on why Sullivan didn't show up. He was actually sent home from Monday Night Raw, and it was about to kick off major plans for Lars Sullivan at WrestleMania, which would have resulted in a huge match for Lars Sullivan. We'll go over all of that tomorrow, but the same video packages over and over and over again. I think, honestly, people are tuned out to who's coming and what change is coming right now, because WWE really hasn't done anything to institute new change. This does not exemplify new change. I'm sorry. None of these men and women, none, are game changers to a point where we can actually sit here and say, yeah, well, SmackDown and Raw have changed for the better. These are just names coming in to be added to the already pile of fucking names on both of these shows, and they're more than likely going to get lost in the shuffle. You think Nikki Cross is going to accumulate to anything on the main roster? No. Main roster directive is going to look at her and be like, forget it. We'll debut. We'll do her debut, and we'll get her on TV, and then we'll put her in catering for the next 6 weeks after that. No real plan. Meanwhile, what I would do with Nikki Cross is I would have her and Asuka battle it out for the Women's Championship at WrestleMania. I would actually have Nikki Cross win the Elimination Chamber to battle Asuka for the SmackDown Live Women's Championship at WrestleMania, because there's nobody that brought Asuka to a brink of defeat closer than Nikki Cross. Lacey Evans, I couldn't give a shit about Lacey Evans. Lacey Evans is being called up way too fucking fast. I'm not saying she doesn't have the ability to break through, but she is not ready for the main stage on the main roster. EC3, there's nothing about EC3 that excites me at all. In fact, he needs to be a heel instead of a babyface. I don't see the appeal in EC3. Heavy Machinery, I hope. But they're walking into a dead tag team division. EC3, I mentioned, there's nothing about his moveset. Lars Sullivan, Lars Sullivan, well, I'll talk more about Lars Sullivan tomorrow with the opponent that they have lined up for him at WrestleMania. It's doomsday for Lars Sullivan, if that's the case. Because everybody that went up against this certain individual at WrestleMania, where are they now? Lars Sullivan will more than likely be long gone, buried after a year on the main roster, if that's the case. Now, he's got the look. He certainly has the monster-type look that Vince McMahon pitches a tent for, but I don't see any of these individuals being a game changer or a breakout star. This is not an Aleister Black that we're talking about. This is not Adam Cole or Ricochet or a Velveteen Dream that we're talking, or Johnny Gargano or Tommaso Ciampa that we're talking about here. These are pretty weak call-ups. None of them will make a difference. When we want change, the only change that we're getting is happening in another fucking rival promotion. Who cares? I'm actually growing very tired of these promos every week. Now, I was told that none of these individuals are going to debut until the Royal Rumble. Lacey, Nikki going to be in the Royal Rumble. Lars, Heavy Machinery, and EC3 all going to be in the Royal Rumble. And I stand firm on my prediction. EC3's coming out at number 3. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. Because that's what WWE does. For 2 years, they put Ty Dillinger at number 10. It was funny the first time. It was ridiculous the second time. Like, really? He's going to draw the same fucking number 2 years in a row? Watch, that's exactly what because that's the mentality. They have the mentality of a 3-year-old, does WWE. Well, EC3? We'll put him at number 3. Nobody's going to expect that. You fucking kidding me? This company's fucking ridiculous. They're over there fucking playing in the fucking sandbox, WWE, and then AEW is looking to take over and change the fucking world. Who do you want to be with? Anyway, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, 2 guys that are desperately needed on the main roster, sorely missed as well. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are both out of action. As longtime friends, both needed double surgeries. Sami Zayn on his shoulders and Kevin Owens on his knees. Who's bothering me? My Call of Duty guys are bothering me. They didn't really plan on debuting, I'm reading the other one. Jesus Christ, I'm all over the fucking place. Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. Sami Zayn, both out of action, like I said. Sami Zayn on the double shoulder surgery and Kevin Owens on the double knee surgery. Zayn needed rotator cuffs and Owens needed both knees. They are now out of action, but recuperating. The 2 Canadians are in the comeback mode. They're regaining strength. WWE is promoting their return. They haven't aired their video packages in a couple of weeks, but it was interesting to see their returns advertised on the night of Vince McMahon's big announcement. As Brian Alvarez discussed on Wrestling Observer Live this week, he explained that neither man is actually expected back anytime soon. WWE was merely trying to find as much as they could promote in regards to the new era. He says, and I quote, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, they're probably not going to be back until February or March, I would guess. Maybe they'll be back a little early, but when they were making all their announcements, that was just something else that they could tell the fans. Change is coming, but it's not like they're coming back next week. We'll have to wait and see where Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn fit in when they return. They could come back as a team, which I would do, as they left us before the injuries. It won't likely happen for a bit, though, because they are both still in rehabilitation. I would bring Sami Zayn, I've mentioned this already multiple times, I would bring Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn back as a tag team for the tag team division. That's where they're most needed. They could go wrestle one-on-one if they wanted to, but I think their strength lies in tag team wrestling right now. I think that would be brilliant to just pretty much run that tag team division if WWE wanted them to. But yes, they're not back. You know, they promoted Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn at the end of December when Vince McMahon made this fucking mock announcement. This bullshit lie announcement that he made. Change is coming. We haven't done right by you guys. We know we haven't done our jobs correctly. So imagine that. They're promoting Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and they're not due back until late February, early March. It's like WWE's like reaching for straws here. What else could we throw at these fucking idiots who don't know any better about change? Change is coming. Look, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are coming back. Change is coming. Mocking the fucking fans, teasing the fucking fans about something that's not going to happen. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's not going to happen, but it's not happening for a very long time. Something that we're going to have to wait on. Something that you can't rush back. Get them to 100% and get them back to where they need to be so that they could do what they need to do for you. It's like, oh, look, what else could we promote as change so people, bend over backwards and believe us? They mocked you in every which way, and this was one part of them mocking you. Change. It's not change. If they were coming, then it should be around the time when they're about to come back. They're not going to factor into the Royal Rumble. I doubt they even factor heavily into WrestleMania. If it was up to me, I wouldn't debut them back until the Raw after Mania. There's no reason for them to be on TV. They're not single-handedly going to fucking change the entire show to a point where you have to watch. They're just a part of the machine. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are going to be back. They are needed for sure to add some fucking depth to this overall depleted roster. And I miss them. And they're much better as a duo than they are separated. Someone who I really don't give a shit about, if she makes an in-ring return or not, is Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss was pulled from action due to suffering too many concussions in too short of a time period. She's been able to stay on television since, which is, I guess, great for some, and for everybody else, it's just fucking nauseating. You know, everybody else that was injured is out injured, recuperating, home resting, getting better. Now, Alexa Bliss, nah. Somebody in WWE loves Alexa Bliss so much that they can't bear to not have her on Monday Night Raw. Does she add to the show? Honestly, ask yourself this question. Does she add to the show? The answer is a resounding no. If she wasn't there, would you remember Alexa Bliss? If she wasn't there 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, would you die 1,000 deaths? If Alexa Bliss wasn't there, is she going to drastically change the ratings? Are the ratings going to fucking dip into the fucking toilet worse than they already have? No, the answer is no. Is she somebody that's going to enhance the ratings and raise the ratings cap? No. She offers absolutely no change whatsoever. But JD, she's great on the microphone, man. So what? So what? Who cares? I'm not watching to listen to Alexa Bliss talk. I don't care. If she's not factoring into any storylines with anybody, get the fuck off television and come back when you are ready. Now, what WWE should have done was the women's division on Raw right now is in shambles outside of Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey is in a major storyline with women that aren't even on her program. They're not even on her show. And you're sitting her down with Alexa Bliss. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. The same Alexa Bliss that called her an overrated rookie, overhyped rookie, you're nothing special, and she's sitting there smiling and interacting with Alexa Bliss as if they're best friends and they're sitting over a cup of coffee. What am I watching here? These two went back and forth for the Women's Championship on 2 pay-per-views. And now you're giving me them in a sit-down segment as if nothing ever happened? Where Nia Jax came out and said, I'm a 300.5 ounce Samoan. 300.5 ounce Samoan, that roughly equals 18 pounds. I don't know if she was talking about her weight or what she ate in breakfast earlier in the morning. Fuck out of here. Alexa Bliss offers nothing to WWE television outside of what we've already seen. Nothing. The former WWE Women's Champion is at the Performance Center. She's taking light bumps. She's taking things slowly. Brad Shepard, reporter on the Oh You Didn't Know podcast, that Bliss might not be a sure thing as far as a return goes. He says, and I quote, things with Alexa Bliss are murky at the moment. So, you know, she's been posting Instagram videos of her working out, and we'll see how that all evolves. But I've been told by a source in the company that things are looking very murky at the moment. That's a good word, murky. Things on Monday Night Raw in general look a little bit murky. And they have looked murky for a very long time. It was noted that he didn't think that Bliss has fallen out of favor with Vince McMahon, but her in-ring return status doesn't seem too clear. Let's hope for the best, but we might be looking forward to many more Moments of Bliss segments from Ms. Bliss over here. Now, if I had a choice of one or the other, I would rather her be on the microphone and not be in the ring, because she's not good at the in-ring thing. She's not. At all. Name one Alexa Bliss match that is memorable. 0. 0, clown. There's nothing memorable about Alexa Bliss's title runs. 5, which are 5 too many. Fuck out of here. There's much more prominent and talented women in the division than Alexa Bliss. Where the fuck are they? Why is she being pushed? I'll give you one guess. Reason why Jason Jordan has not been cleared by WWE. I miss Jason Jordan. I really do. I think Jason Jordan's a nice hand to have. He's a damn good wrestler, too. Now, Jason Jordan's been out of action. I would love if he came back and actually teamed up with Chad Gable and reformed American Alpha, but that is neither here or there. Jason Jordan has been working as a producer backstage for WWE, putting together matches. He's been able to learn a lot and appears as though he is fitting in well with that role. Still, fans would like to see Jordan compete. Wrestling Observer newsletter reported that Jason Jordan is, quote-unquote, pretty much fine. He is still with an issue with one of his hands, and that is very concerning. Whether this is grip strength or the ability to make a fist is unclear. The issue is said to be keeping WWE from totally clearing him for an in-ring return. Jordan might eventually be cleared for an in-ring return. However, this issue with his hand could be a telling sign that he is not 100% over his neck surgery. I hope for the best. I would like to see him back on Monday Night Raw, and I would love for WWE to forget about the illegitimate son bullshit that they pulled with Kurt Angle. That's not the way he deserves to go out. I would love to see him join forces with Chad Gable and show us why tag team wrestling is needed on Monday Night Raw. Eric Rowan is another guy who's been out. He was spotted training at the Performance Center. WWE had Rowan out of action due to a bicep tear. This injury came at a terrible time and forced the Bludgeon Brothers, yeah, remember them? I don't, to drop the SmackDown Live Tag Team titles in the middle of their push. PW Insider reports that Rowan was spotted at the Performance Center in Orlando this week. He is working towards his return to the ring. This is a good sign because showing up at the PC is usually one of the final steps needed before someone is cleared for a return. I don't know what they do with Eric Rowan, to be perfectly honest with you. A Bludgeon Brothers return does not excite me whatsoever. At all. Terrible. Who the fuck is going to care about the Bludgeon Brothers coming back? What you need to do with Eric Rowan is get him and Harper and Wyatt back together as the Wyatt family. That's what I would do. And you book them the way that they should have been booked 4 years ago. Enough of this bullshit, Bludgeon Brothers. They looked cool for a little bit, and then the act got tired and stale in WWE. As soon as they gave them the titles, they didn't do anything with them. They didn't do anything with those titles. And then Rowan got hurt, and then goodbye. I guarantee you're not going to lose sleep if the Bludgeon Brothers don't return with their fucking scary hammers and their one-chord guitar riff theme music. Fuck out of here, man. Rowan, Harper, and Wyatt, and get Bo Dallas. Fuck the B team. Get Bo Dallas and the Wyatt family. Give me a new Wyatt. You know, you got the new AJ Styles. You got the real AJ Styles. You got the new Daniel Bryan. Why don't you give me the new Wyatt family with Big Bad Bo as an addition? Come on, man. And maybe a female. Maybe a female. I don't know. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but a nice female addition could do the Wyatt family well. Worlds collide. I heard about this, and I was like, what the fuck is going on here, man? Now, WWE trademarked for Worlds Collide just a couple of days ago, and I was thinking, what could this be? What could this be? Could this be a WWE main roster NXT type show? You know, I was automatically thinking, well, this could be a power struggle type angle on Monday Night Raw where Vince is feuding with Triple H over power of Monday Night Raw, Worlds Collide, NXT versus main roster. I had the creative juices flowing. And then all of a sudden, Sean Ross Sapp reports this on Fightful.com that the Worlds Collide is actually a Worlds Collide tournament that will take place at the Royal Rumble Access in preparation for the Royal Rumble event. This tournament will put 205 Live superstars against both NXT brands. Although the brackets have not been revealed yet, the superstars they are using for this tournament are very impressive. It might also be interesting to note who they didn't include. The winner of the tournament will go on to challenge for a title on any brand of their choosing that are in the tournament. In WWE's release regarding the event, it was explained that this tournament will be taped for a WWE Network special, which is cool. I appreciate that. That's why we signed on for the network. We want to see shit like this, and I love tournaments. So this is great. They say, and I quote, the WWE Worlds Collide tournament, which will be taped for a WWE Network special, kicks off with a 15-superstar battle royal on Saturday, January 26th at 8 a.m. Sucks to be you if you got to wake up at 8 a.m. or before that if you're one of the guys to get ready to wrestle at 8 a.m. Now, the order of elimination in the battle royal will determine the first round matches for a 15-superstar single elimination tournament beginning later that session. The battle royal winner will receive a first round bye. So there you go. The tournament will continue at Saturday's second session of Access, taking place from 1 to 5 p.m., before concluding at the final Access session on Sunday, January 27th from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. noon, featuring a versatile group who's who from all three brands. The participants are as follows. From NXT, Adam Cole, Velveteen Dream, Dominic Dijakovic, Keith Lee, and Otis Dojovic. Pretty cool right there. Got a nice little field from NXT. Adam Cole and Velveteen Dream are not on Phoenix, on TakeOver Phoenix, which is very telling. And it's not such a bad thing. It just goes to show you how deep NXT's roster really is. From NXT UK, Mark Andrews, Tyler Bate, Travis Banks, Jordan Devlin, and Zach Gibson. From 205 Live, Cedric Alexander, Humberto Carrillo, Tony Nese, Drew Gulak, and TJP. Now, Humberto Carrillo, right? They actually removed him from the event following his original announcement. He's better known as the Ultimo Ninja in an exciting addition to NXT. He was just on NXT just a couple of weeks ago. He has a very bright future, but apparently he won't be in the World Collides tournament, or the Worlds Collide tournament. He was on the list of participants, but sources have found out that he was supposed to be a new member of the 205 Live roster, and by him being announced here, they actually ruined his debut. I don't know why they pulled him from this, because if you're going to debut him on 205 Live, who the fuck's going to know who Humberto Carrillo is? Might as well get him some exposure on this thing. Who gives a shit? You announced him? Keep him in there. Or maybe they had one too many, and Humberto was the odd man out. I don't know. Whatever the case may be, Worlds Collide. This is a great thing. It makes the access experience all that much more special because you're getting to see something that nobody else can. You got to buy a ticket to access to see this. They did this at the Royal Rumble. They had 3 tournaments at the WrestleMania access last year, and it was great. Now, we didn't see none of that, but this is being filmed for a WWE Network special, and they made sure that you knew that. I would like to see what happens here. What if Velveteen Dream wins this entire thing and he gets a shot at the NXT Championship? It's great. What about Adam Cole? Keith Lee? Good exposure for these guys, right? Zach Gibson. He wouldn't want a shot at the UK title? It's great shit right here, man. It is, it's great in retrospect, but just thinking about it realistically, this is scraps at the dinner table. Honestly, if you want me to make a comparison, this is all the leftover shit that you're going to see for Royal Rumble weekend that didn't make the main NXT card and the main Rumble card. These are the 205 Live guys that didn't win their way into the Fatal 4-Way at the Royal Rumble. These are the UK guys that, a lot of these guys are going to be on the UK show, so I guess they amped that up and loaded that portion of the show up. But NXT, Adam Cole, Velveteen Dream, Keith Lee, Otis, those guys aren't on Phoenix. These are guys that were left off those shows and they have nothing to do with them. What are you going to do with Adam Cole? You don't want to. You got to pay him, right? You might as well pay him. Get some use out of him. Just scraps at the dinner table. Finding a way to use the guys that aren't on the show in some capacity at the Royal Rumble. That's all it is. And if it's filmed for the network, good. Good. I hope it doesn't go to waste, and I hope that they keep their promise that it is on the networks because I want to watch it. I want to see what happens, and I'm sure we'll find out the winner following everything that happens during the Royal Rumble weekend. Finally, guys, to get the hell out of here because my allergies are fucking killing me, WWE reportedly has narrowed down the cities for WrestleMania 36. Brad Shepard said on the Oh You Didn't Know podcast that WWE isn't 100% sure what city they will hold WrestleMania 36 in. They are pretty confident that they have narrowed down the state. WrestleMania 36 update, he says, 80% chance it will be in Florida. Florida is now the heavy favorite to host WrestleMania 36. I don't know which city, but I was told it will not be Orlando again. John Fisher noted that they have, I'm believing he is Brad Shepard's partner here. John Fisher noted that they had previously reported that Tampa also put a bid in for WrestleMania. Apparently Vince McMahon loves Tampa as well, and Shepard confirmed that Tampa is indeed in the running. We will have to wait and see because they usually announce the next year's show location very close to Mania or during the show. I'm going to reveal something to you right now, right here. Spoiler, WrestleMania 36, from what I understand from the people that I talk to, it will be in Tampa Bay. It will not be in Jacksonville. It will not be Orlando. It will not be Miami. It will be Tampa Bay. So get ready. WrestleMania 36 is coming to Tampa, and more than likely, I will be headed down to Tampa. I just hope that you guys have some nice breweries down there for me to make a nice little home in for the week. So there you go. I'm getting out of here, guys. Thank you so very much for the podcast today. Lots of stuff to go over, including all of the Elite stuff and AEW. Much more to come on Sunday. I want to take a rest. I've been recording nonstop, and my voice is kind of going. My allergies are killing me. I don't know if I'm getting sick or not, but I hope not. WWE reportedly wants to keep Becky Lynch out of the Royal Rumble, only to surprise everyone that she indeed does win the entire thing. News on that. Ronda Rousey personally wanted Sasha Banks at the Royal Rumble, which forced WWE's hand to change most of the card. Lars Sullivan's WWE debut postponed. Why? I'll tell you why tomorrow. John Cena's reported WrestleMania opponent revealed, and John Cena to receive an Undertaker-like schedule following the Royal Rumble, man. All that plus so much more on the podcast tomorrow. We're going to end with a bang, plus a bunch of other shit as well, man. Probably more AEW news, because every day I sit down here in the office, there's more AEW news just churned out every single fucking day, man. So if I hear anything else on AEW, you guys know I will tell you right here on the podcast. Please make sure you guys follow me on social media, man, at JD. I can't even fucking speak anymore, man. I'm fucking up my own name. JD from NY206. Hit that subscribe button down below. Follow me on Twitch, JD from New York. Twitter, at JD from NY206. Same thing as Instagram. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. Barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. Use code BSHOP10 for all your official Off the Script merchandise, harrys.com/script, and audibletrial.com/off the script. And please hit that thumbs up, and I'll see you guys right back here on Sunday afternoon for part 3 of Off the Script. Takeover UK review is going to be live on the channel in the morning, so don't miss that. And we'll go over everything that happens in Blackpool, man. Thank you guys so very much. Take it easy. Enjoy your Saturdays, and I'll see you guys right back here for a double upload on Sunday. I'll talk to you guys later.